I never expected moving to Japan would change the way I create art forever. When I was 10 years old, I moved to Okinawa as a military brat. Being surrounded by both American and Japanese culture really opened my eyes to new ways of telling stories and creating art. Looking back at the experience now, it's one of the biggest reasons I became interested in drawing manga. I'm Genesis, and this is how living in Okinawa inspired me to draw manga. For the first 10 years of my life, I grew up in Virginia. And when I was 10 years old, my father, who was a Marine, told me that we were going to move the entire family to Okinawa, Japan. Unlike most military kids where, military families have to move every 2 to 3 years from station to station, this was very different for me and my family because we actually had a stable childhood, and my father was the one that was sacrificing and the one that was moving while I actually stayed in my hometown. And I had to leave everything behind that was familiar. So for me, this was a very unique experience because it was actually my first major move. At first, adjusting to Okinawa wasn't easy for me and my family. Everything felt different. The language, the food, the culture, the environment. But, over time, my dad always encouraged me to take advantage of where we lived. Because he would tell me it's really hard to be in an unfamiliar place, but you might have experiences there that you'll be able to tell stories about someday, or you'll be able to learn from it. Because of that mindset, my family spent a lot of time exploring Okinawa just to adjust to our move. My dad and my mom would take us to road trips around the island just to make us familiar with our environment. We would visit beaches, parks, local areas off base, just to get out there and just to see what is so different from Virginia. And looking back at it, those experiences really help with the move, but also help shape of how I see the world today and definitely influence me in my art. While we were living in Okinawa, and going on our little excursions as a family, and just me sometimes hanging out with my friends in general, I started noticing anime and manga everywhere. I saw it in some stores, in merchandise, on advertisements, posters, and just everyday life. And at the same time, I was still a little bit surrounded by American culture because in Okinawa, it's known for being international because of the American influence here, unlike mainland. So without realizing it, I started mixing both influences together in my artwork because since I was 10 years old, I loved drawing and I was still drawing. And during that development process of my life, I would trace characters, try to copy or mimic art styles that I saw or that I liked. And I would practice drawing like anime characters over and over again. And the more I drew, the more I naturally developed an interest in manga. I think definitely living in a different country can really influence you and nurture your creativity and the way your perceptions are, because you're exposed to different perspectives, different art styles, different way of life, and different way of thinking. And when you combine those influences together, especially as you're a kid, you can create something unique that reflects your own experiences. After spending my middle school years in Okinawa, my family and I moved back to Virginia, and I started high school there. During high school, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out my interests, my art style, and overall my identity as a young girl, especially after high school, what I would be and what I would do. And throughout those years, my class basically labeled me as like the art kid because I would practice drawing all the time everywhere I could. And that was kind of like my mark, I guess, my like identity. I always just drew everything, and I took a lot of art classes, and my talent would show a lot. And even my class president would ask me like, Genesis, can you design this poster for us for the pep rally? Even my valedictorian shouted me out after we graduated because I just really was seriously interested in drawing. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to do art. I just wanted to do photography, anything with creativity. That's all I wanted to do in high school. I just wanted to definitely practice what I love, and I continued doing that as I grew over time. And then something interesting happened. Throughout my free time, I would start watching more anime and reading more manga because I started to miss Okinawa. I started missing my experiences I had over there and missing the culture and the environment. And over time, it would incorporate in my drawings and my style. What started as an interest during puberty and when I was developing myself as a kid grew more into a serious passion through high school as I was forming who I was and what I wanted to be. After high school, I really decided for myself that I knew I wanted to do art, whether it was in graphic design or in fine arts or whatever it was. I just knew I wanted to create. But of course, I was still in my military family life, and my dad had to move again, and we had to move again. And it really influenced my decisions and choosing which colleges I had to apply for and stuff. But at the end of the day, we all decided as a family to move back to Okinawa. And so my father volunteered to go back, and so we decided to all move back. And I would make that decision in my senior year to attend college overseas and study graphic design. So majority of my degree would be done online. It was a really hard decision for me because I really didn't know whether I wanted to seek my independence and go to a traditional college and be left behind, or just stay with my family and just save money and go to college online. But at the end of the day, I really liked Okinawa and I really wanted to come back. But I also had another goal in mind. I wanted to learn how to create manga. And in America, there isn't really a lot of opportunities to study Eastern styles of art and study manga specifically. So I just started researching everything I could during college. And what I found out was that there actually are manga schools here in Japan, but you have to learn Japanese. And I remember constantly when I was searching and I was researching online, how to become a manga artist, what skills do I need, what should I learn? But overall, you just need to keep going. You have to have a lot of perseverance and persistence, and you have to work hard. And eventually, that's what made my decision to study manga and Japanese and study abroad. And I did. I actually went to a Japanese school for a year and a half, and I went to a Senmongako, which is like a vocational school. It was an entertainment school, but they had a manga program, and I enrolled in it, and I actually graduated after 2 years of studying there. And it really helped me form my foundation and my skills in manga to this day. So you're probably wondering, okay, what's the point of this video? Is it to tell everyone to move to another country? Is it to tell everyone that manga is a failing industry and you probably shouldn't do it? No, I'm not saying everything is going to be the way that you plan out anything in life, really. And not everyone can move to a different country. But I guess what I'm trying to say in this video is that don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If I had never moved to Okinawa, I might have never discovered my love for art and for manga and anime in the first place and developed myself as an artist. And sometimes new experiences and new environments can teach us things about ourselves that we never would have learned otherwise. The people you meet, the places you visit, the experiences you have, all of those things combined can influence your creativity and shape who you are. So don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to explore unfamiliar places. You never know what might inspire you. Thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey guys, it's Genesis. That's the end of our session. If you were working on your art project or just studying in general, I hope this video helped you stay motivated and focused. If you enjoy watching me draw or just staying productive with me, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel to follow me more on my manga journey. If you want to check out my manga and other pieces of work, check out the description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next session. Bye!